Greetings. Welcome to Ross Reports, the headline. So this morning on the radio, they were talking about what you tell your kids about money. I guess how you educate your kids about money. This is the whole thing, and I didn't take away anything from it, so I guess that kind of tells you something. Let's take a step back. We have an institution called the Federal Reserve. Its designation is to print money. And according to our Constitution, it's the Congress that shall be involved in the money printing process. Nevertheless, even though the federal institution chairman is supposedly appointed by the president, we know that the actual shareholders or the actual chair representatives are from the larger financial institutions, J.P. Morgan Chase, Bank of America, etc. Citigroup. So what you have is you have an institution that is, by this law, the United States law, and clearly the Congress has not been involved. Now there's got to be a reason for that. And furthermore, there's got to be a reason why everybody seems to be lost when it comes to talking about the Federal Reserve. Some obvious reasons I can tell you. Number one is the language they use, the terminology. Quantitative easing. When they want to print money, they call it quantitative easing. It's to keep everything in the dark. It's a little magic black box. Yeah? Can you uncover the secrets to the magic black box? Now, if you watch the Foreign Relations Council videos, and you watch the one in particular that has Stan, the number 2 guy, the head of the Federal New York Bank, which, by the way, is the head of the Federal Reserve. Janice Mellon's just a face. And listen to what he says. Listen to some of those videos, in particular also the one with the former head of the bank of the state that calls themselves Israel. He says that, hey, we have a curtain and it needs to remain closed. If we open it up and have that transparency, then people will not only know how it works, but they'll want to participate. So I can sum this up in so many words. They're skimming money off the top. The idea of the Fed is to increase productivity. What they want to do is take in so much money. It's called cash flow. It's in and out. They print out money, but they take in money too. Every time you deposit your money at the bank, every week, that money goes somewhere, and it goes to a larger institution which holds it. Eventually it ends up at the New York Fed. Yeah, they have a lot of cash they're holding down there in Manhattan. And they examine the quantity of currency that they have and determine the level of labor on the outside, and then they manipulate the market as to make an attempt to always increase the productivity of labor. So, you know, for instance, if there's too much money out there and people are finding it too easy to come by money, then they're not going to work as hard. So their job is to always get people working. That's what inflation is about. That's what salary wage raising is about. You know, it's an incentive. You want to work harder because you think your boss is going to see you and give you a raise. Well, at the same time, inflation's going up, and inflation always goes up a little bit more. That's the trick. So while you think that you're getting ahead, you're really not. And going back to what I was saying, you know, if we want to educate our kids about money, let's start with the Federal Reserve. Let's tell our kids how the Federal Reserve works. When the Federal Reserve prints money, it just doesn't go out to everybody. It goes to those major institutions who turn around and lend it. And every time an institution lends the money, even down to your, you know, local mafioso loan sharks, they're going to collect interest, which is illegal underneath the Hebrew law. Now, the Jews claim exemption from certain parts of the law because they have a traditional law that they abide by. That's why you don't see very many Jewish people in and out of the courtrooms. Yeah? Now, if they abide by their ancient law, would they not include usury? Usury is a sin. But yet, what do we got? They're experts at oppression. The only thing I can say is that the Hebrew people have been infiltrated. Their faith has been hijacked and kidnapped. And they're holding their faith and they're presenting it in a deceptive manner, in an ill form. And they're saying this is the faith, when in all actuality, it's not.